All right. So, here we go. So the cockpit's painted, basically, as you can see. This is all painted here. So, excuse me. Time for the second part here. Of course, I forgot a cockpit item right here, so we'll deal with that real quick. And I got the other pieces that are necessary to get the fuselage assembled. G39, G2, and G28. I should have looked ahead and saw this before, but I didn't, so that's my fault. Here they're telling you if you want to put the drop tank in, you need to open these holes. I'm not going to do that. So, not worried about that at all. So what do I do about this? Well, there's a couple of ways I can do this. The fastest way is what I'm going to do. Because this is a speed build. And just like any kind of a building project, sometimes you have to fix goofs. And so that's where we're at with this. We're going to fix a goof. So what I'm going to do here is try not to stab myself, which I've already done, but that's all right. Yes, if you've ever been in scouts, you know, don't cut toward yourself, right? Well, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. There is some flash on this, so we'll go around the edges. Just a little bit. All right. And that goes here on this side. And if we look at the instructions, it's right in between those two things. And we go like this. So he goes right there. Alright, so I am just going to put that up there like that. Drop some paint in here, like that. Or not paint, glue. Give it a good push. Like so. We'll let that set up. While we're letting that set up, we'll deal with this other stuff. So we have to clean this up. And this. Well, I don't know. Maybe we don't. I don't know exactly where this goes. I mean, I know where it goes, but I don't really know the fitment of it, so I don't know if those edges are actually important. But we will clean them up anyway. Better safe than sorry. Okay. And here is the tail wheel. And use the big teeth. Didn't need to. That. Really, phone? eBay. Hey, something that you don't need is on sale. Thanks, eBay. And this guy right here. So here's a little trick. So if you take your clippers and you put them on the part, if you got a rounded edge like that, and you pull the part away from the clippers as you're clipping it, it'll do a pretty good job of following the curve. And then you just come in and touch it up. Just like that. So this part's going to need some cleanup here. So let's spend some quality time with this guy. Not the greatest bit of detail, but acceptable for what we're doing here. Let's try and get the mold mark out. I can come back and deal with this contour and stuff later. I'm just trying to get the mold lines off right now. That's all I'm interested in. Yeah, they're not being very quiet upstairs. I should expect no less. I don't have a quiet family, which is probably somewhat interesting because, believe it or not, I'm actually a pretty quiet person. I enjoy my solitude. That may not surprise you, being that I'm down here in the basement doing this, right? Okay. There's that. That looks pretty good. It's pretty good. Now, what the heck is up with that? Wow. That's pretty bad, Edward. I don't think I've ever seen anybody mention that. Maybe they just all ignore it. Crazy. All right, well, I'm going to ignore it for now. Get that out of here. Okay, there's that. Is this dry? This is dry. Okay. The thing that sucks is I already put all my paint stuff away. That's all right. Just do that. Grab our brush. Whoa. Touch it up a little bit. Got one little spot here that needs a touch up. I think I want to do this whole. Yeah. We're going to do black washes later, so we'll take care of that. Okay, we'll just leave that like that for now. So we're good there. Okay. So while that one's drying, I am going to take my pencil, right, which I sharpened with my pencil sharpener. And I'm just going to come in here and rub on some stuff. Kind of nothing too much, you know, but a little bit like that. Be a little crazier in here. I will put seatbelts in it, but not yet. And the only reason I'm not doing it now is because I don't know where my material is at the moment. I need to find it. So I'm just kind of, you know, a little bit of scratches here and there. Some down here, a little bit here and there. Nothing major. But now when I get to these, I'm going to use the side of this to just highlight stuff. Right? Just like that. You can use white, but I find that the white just, I don't know whether it's the pigment or what, it just doesn't grab as well, and sometimes it grabs off in clumps. This is just a Prismacolor artist pencil. This isn't anything, not anything high dollar at all. You know, as I've said before, I don't have anything against the new products. I just don't, you know, I don't see any point in changing unless I need a reason to change. And I don't, I'm sure like those AK watercolor pencils, and there's other watercolor pencils on them. I'm sure that stuff's fantastic, but honestly, for my purposes, this works just fine. Been doing it this way for decades. Okay, we'll call that one good. Come in here on this one. Not a whole lot of detail in this panel. Okay. And then the instrument panel. I'm going to start in the center, I knew I wanted to get these. So there isn't really much on here except for the dials and the hardware that holds them in. So, and it's not really accurate for them to have like silver framing, but I'm just gonna kind of rub in here a little bit. We're gonna do washes and stuff in here. I'm not gonna do any kind of actual dials or anything. I'm just gonna, like I said, do this and do some washes and stuff, and run with it. Some scratches here. Okay. Now, we take that. Oh, I forgot my panel here. The one that's drying. Is it dry yet? Hopefully it is. This is details been on here, so we can deal with that. Do some little bits here. Hit the edge. It's dry enough. Cool. Just like downtown. All right. So, now, you got a decision to make. Do you want to do your washes now, or do you want to wait until you put it together? The reason I say it's a decision is because the wash obviously works better on a flat surface. But we're dealing with something where there's not a whole lot of relief in there anyway. So I am going to put it together. So let's put that in. I got those foot pedals leaning a little bit too far back, and it's really tight here. That's okay though. And this guy goes in here like this. Right, okay. Let's see how we fit. We fit good. Okay. All right, now, one thing I am going to do is take the paint off these edges, at least in some spots. Not necessarily all the way around, but in some spots. So we can actually get a bond with the glue when the time comes. One nice thing about acrylics is they scrape off pretty easy. Okay. Now, what do we do? Panel liner time. These are enamels, so therefore they will not react with the acrylic. And there's really no point in doing a black wash on black. So I'm going to use the brown on the black here on the sides. This is what's This works well like this because the thing is on its side and it so the color doesn't just run down. Okay, so we'll do that like that. Put some in here. Now this we can get away with black, but I'm going to do a brown first, and then I'll come back with black. So I'm going to do this rear headrest area first and get this done. But I will come back later with black. So let this sit for a little while. Okay. You know, Bob, I've been thinking about picking up some eyeshadow stuff, but I haven't done it. Every time I go to the dollar store, I look to see if there's some cheapy stuff. I imagine it's just like the Tamiya weathering powders, right? I mean, it's the same stuff. That's what it looks like anyway. But no, I've never tried it. Let's see here. Okay. So we'll let that do its deal for a little bit. Grab some of these. So after a while, it flashes off enough to where it hangs in there really well, and you can kind of move on. So I'm going to come in here with black now. And run some of that on the floor here. That doesn't look half bad just like that, so I don't think I'm going to go any further. Could use some black right there to cover up some goof ups. You can kind of fill with this stuff. I mean, it's opaque enough that if you got some like light areas in your paint or whatever, it'll fill for you. Exactly the same. Yeah, yeah, it looks the same. It's like, okay, why are we paying $11 or $15 or whatever for? Yeah, that's my aggravation with a lot of this stuff. It's not aggravation. It's just why are we paying money for stuff that we don't need to be paying money for? You know? Okay, so moving on here, planning time. So what do we got? So we need to drop this in here. Oh, I'm backwards, so it goes this way. And the tail wheel. I'm not doing the fuel tank, so I don't need to worry about that. So this goes like this. I'm guessing. Huh. Yeah, that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. Really? Is that how that goes? Sure looks like it. Yeah, that's how it goes. Oh, okay. Okay. I got it in there better now. All right. Let me get rid of these guys. Now, what I would typically do is I would wait for this to dry and then I would flat coat it. And, but I'm not going to do that here now because time's an issue with this build. So if I find I need flat in here, you know, on the wash in some places, I can come in here later with a brush and just dab it in where it needs to be. As long as you're using an acrylic flat, that's not a problem. Okay, so let's do this. So we'll put this in here. Oh, wrong place. There. There's a Japanese figure painter. Because it has the twin stars, yeah. There's a Japanese figure painter that has a video on how to use that stuff to paint. For lack of a better word, a German tank officer. It looked amazing. Really? So he did the whole figure with like eyeshadow? I mean, I don't see why not. Nothing would surprise me. There's some pretty creative people out there that do some pretty creative stuff. Okay, what am I going to do here? I don't really like this. I don't like the way they got this set up here. It's not very positive here. This thing wobbles a lot. So now that I got those two parts in, I'm gonna kind of do this and get everything, make sure everything's where it's supposed to be. Okay. That looks good. That looks good. Get this thing straight. Even though I got it glued on one side. Okay. So I'm just going to hold that for a second and then we'll put the fuselage together and mount the engine and we'll be ready to spray some black. Yeah, that's pretty ugly, man. I don't like how they did that at all. Not a bad kit. Great kit? Nah, but not a bad kit. Okay. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? All right. Now, let's see here. See how good we did here. Like that. That. All right. Ah, stupid tail wheel. All right, we'll deal with you later, tail wheel. You and I have a date with destiny. And her sister Mayhem. Okay, so there's that. That's good. Let's get the dashboard up in place. Forward like it should be. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm just going to lay this in here. Put this in. Like that. That's laid in there. Okay. Sorry, I bumped the camera. I'm just going to hold this for a minute. And then I'll glue it. Wow. We have a rendezvous with destiny. There you go. And boy, is she mad. Not bad, Edward. Not bad. Not a bad little kit. Not so far anyway. All right, so I need that guy gonna go on there. Yeah, it's gonna slide off. That's all right. That's all right. There's a solution for every problem. Never underestimate the power of a rubber band. All right, so what do we do here? What do we do? Sinister music. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to start here. Why? I don't know. I have gone back to the Tamiya extra thin, mainly because I was getting complaints from my son in the next room that the MEK was really pretty potent. And so I backed it off a little. I didn't realize I was you know, sharing the wealth, so to speak. Come on. Okay. Now, how about here? You got to be careful when you're using these rubber bands because the glue will flow right around the rubber band. And you don't want that. See that stupid thing right there? See that? What the heck? Come on, Edward, really? That was just bad. I know what I'm going to do, though. I can fix that. I can get to that. Don't try this at home, kids. Well, that wasn't my plan, but that'll work too. All right, so I'll just go in this way with my blade and prop it up. There. There we go. Okay. That's not a great design point right there. Not by any means. All right. So we got the first couple inches glued together anyway. back. So the top's going to go just fine. The bottom, we're going to have to be careful. Yeah, rubber bands are the best. Oh, big drop, big drop. Ah, fingerprint. Oh, darn it. Bubbly. I don't know if that's strong enough for putting up with me there, Brett. You might need something stronger. Oh, come on. Get in alignment, you silly thing. Are we there? I think we're there. Looks good there, looks good there. Okay. Here's where you're committed. Once you get the vertical stabilizer cemented, you're committed at that point. Because usually when this thing bonds, it bonds. Come on. It looks like it's off when you look at it from this angle. But when you look at the front leading edge here, it looks fine. So we'll go with it. Okay. Can't believe I did that. Well, I mean, I can, but... all right. Clampage. I need clamps. Ain't gonna stay with it. It's all right. Okay, moving on. Yeah, this right here is ugly. It'll be all right, but it's ugly. See that ridge? I mean, I'm just going to have to take it little by little. It'll work. Is it Eduard? I don't know. It's got a U in it, so for me it's Eduard. Hey, I gave you money. I can call you whatever I want. No. No, that's not right. That's not right. That was always one of my pet peeves, dealing with customers and stuff. And because you get people that are like, I don't care, you know, however, it doesn't matter how you say it. And I'm like, no, everybody deserves to have their name pronounced correctly. So if I'm not saying it right, tell me. We may not all deserve much, but we deserve at least that. At least the dignity of having our names said correctly. Okay. What am I going to do here? What's the best way to tackle this? I'm thinking if I just do... I know what. If this will stay on, this angle, it may not stay on. No, that ain't gonna work. Okay. Okay. I blame this on Grumman. I think what I'm going to do is see if I can't pull it flat with the rubber bands. Like that. Get some cement in here. Whoa, big old blob. Help me, Mr. Wizard. Man, it's twice I put a big old blob on there. That sucks. Okay. Well, I think that might have worked. Let's see. Okay. We might still end up with a step, but that's all right. It won't be bad. Easy to take care of. So here's our motor. Now, as I was talking about on earlier today, in order to do this quickly, it's just got to be down and dirty, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to install the motor Make sure the prop shaft is straight. Line it up with a cowl there. And where is my ruler? One of my rulers. All right, I got to get these. I keep these magnets on my desk that keeps things from rolling away, but I'm not sure that the benefit is. The benefit may be outweighed by the fact that everything attaches to them. And a lot of times that means knife blades. That's not necessarily the safest thing in the world. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. So, the plan now is to paint all of this black, including the inside of this. Gray on the crankcase cover, some dry brushing with some aluminum or gunmetal or both or whatever, and dropping that on there. However, I think before I put the cowling on, I got to put these other two exhaust manifolds in there. Yeah. So I'm going to actually do those right now before I paint. So let me get those guys. Yeah, it's 19 and 21 here. I already put 32 and 33 in. I missed those somehow. So I'll put those in, and then we'll paint the front of this thing black. And we'll be able to put the cowling on. Well, after we do the detail painting, put the cowling on, and then it'll be all the control surfaces. And we're off and running. Not bad, if I do say so myself. I think I'm going to do the one off the Essex. I think that's the one we're going to do here. So anyway, I didn't have to break the tail wheel off. It fell off all by itself. All right, so G, what did I say? 19 and 20 or some silly thing? Man, it's lunchtime. I can feel it. 19 and 21, there they are. All right, there's 19. There's 21. I already forgot which one's which. Okay, so this one's 19, this one's 21. Okay. And we go back to the instructions. "19 goes on the starboard side." Okay. So 21 is this one. This one goes on this side. There we go. And yeah, see, there's just some dimples there, and there's a couple of protrusions on the part, on the back of the part, and it just, that's how you line it up. Oh, nothing fancy. Looks like I might have got a little crazy with my trimming on that one, but oh well. Okay. There we are. Sorry, I got to get this thing off of here. It's bugging me. Every time I see it, it's like, get that thing out of there. Okay, so yeah, so what I'll do is I'll spray the black, come back, we'll do the detail painting, we'll put that on, sand the seams, and start building the airframe in quantity here. I mean, this stuff, this thing's fitting together well, so I'm not really expecting any issues here. So yeah, it should be good. Not included in the kit. What? Oh, there's a whip antenna there. Huh. Okay. Whatever. So the big thing on my mind is the color. I'm probably, what I'm planning on doing is going with this insignia blue and dropping a little bit of interior green in it, and see what happens. This color up until, if you look at like the Corsairs and versus the Hellcats, late war, except for if you look at the F4U4 and the F6F5s, they look like they're the same blue. But if you look at like the earlier Corsairs where they were overall blue, it's not the dark sea blue or the gloss sea blue. The color changed after the war. It lightened up a bit, but I think it's not as gray as a lot of people show it. So I'm thinking I'll go with this and put a little bit of green in it, and I think we'll be okay. We'll find out. We'll find out. Let's see here. Doesn't mean I would have glued my finger down. You know, I've been considering doing it live. Brad, I gotta jump through some hoops to do this live stream, but that's why there's that watermark from Streamlabs. But YouTube actually supports live direct from the phone if it's an iPhone 8 Plus or better, from what I read. Us Android guys are stuck out in the woods here. Yeah, there is definitely fading in the Pacific, but the dark sea blue, the gloss sea blue doesn't fade. It chips a little bit, and not even really. It depends on what version you're dealing with, but you get to the gloss sea blue, especially the post-war gloss sea blue like they had in Korea. That stuff doesn't. That stuff's bulletproof. It didn't fade at all. I was watching a build video on this kit the other day, and the guy was weathering it and basically weathered